This will be a welcome and overview to basic and applied pharmacokinetics self-assessment. Here are the various chapters covered in this textbook. Welcome to Basic and Applied Pharmacokinetics Self-Assessment. The content for this work was developed over 10 years of practicing the application of pharmacokinetic principles to the care of patients that ranged from fragile premature newborns to the oldest of the elderly. It is also informed by over 30 years of teaching both basic and applied pharmacokinetics to thousands of pharmacy students and pharmacists. I hope it will be of value to review content learned in the past and practiced in patient care settings, as well as perhaps learning new areas that might not have been covered in your training. Most of the pharmacokinetic parameters and dosing approaches used here were taken directly from specific chapters in the book Clinical Pharmacokinetics 5th edition. I wish to thank the authors of the chapters for their excellent work in reviewing the literature and compiling these data for use in predicting drug dosing schedules and resulting drug concentrations. However, it is important to note that this textbook is designed to test skills in the use of equations and application of pharmacokinetic parameters. It is not meant to be the final say on how patients should be dosed and monitored. A few caveats will be of benefit to consider while you're using this material. First, it's quite likely that other professors teaching pharmacokinetics use variations of some of the equations provided here. That's to be expected. My approach has always been to try and find the simplest approach to solving pharmacokinetic problems, though it is surely possible that others have found better ways than I do use to solve some problems. As an example of my approach, since 2.3 times log to the base 10 equals the natural log, I always use ln, or natural log, rather than log to the base 10, since it saves the step of multiplying times 2.3. Other teachers like C1 and C2 to represent two different concentrations on a concentration time curve, while I prefer CI, which would usually represent the first or higher concentration measured, and C for any concentration that is down the curve or smaller. The chapters are designed to pose questions, some of which will be calculations and other general knowledge, and give the answer at the end of the chapter. If you get an answer right, keep moving on. If not, the problem solutions are shown in the second part of the book with corresponding numbers. For example, Chapter 1.3 Self-Assessment corresponds with Chapter 2.3 Problem Solutions. Most of the self-assessment chapters will have population pharmacokinetic values and dosing approaches provided at the beginning of the chapter. These approaches and values provided are not meant to suggest that better approaches or different parameters might not be found in the literature. Though other approaches and population predictors may be used in various settings, the ones provided here must be used in order to end up with the same answer that will be provided. While most of the problems are based on actual patients treated over the years, some are purely hypothetical. Some of the approaches taken may not be in common use and are provided primarily as examples to illustrate points. As mentioned above, I like simple approaches. Whenever a problem can be solved by using ratio, for example, a 50% increase in dose can be expected to increase a steady-state concentration by 50%, that approach will be shown. Using the correct equations that represent the dosing approach can solve any problem and will also be shown, but why work harder than necessary? I hope you also enjoy the videos that accompany the various chapters. Though not every chapter has one, most do. And I think they may add to your understanding of how to solve problems when you're having any challenges. Thanks again, and welcome to the book.